I found life for me to be a constant feedback loop. I fix something up that I think's wrong out there, and then I look at that and I find it in myself, and I have to work on to fix it up in here. And then I might fix something up in here, but I become aware of a deficiency out there and I start to talk about it. Now, for me, it kind of started because as a child, I wasn't really listened to. So I didn't have a voice. In my own family, I didn't have a voice. And so in lots of ways, I find people who haven't got a voice, or when I come across people who haven't got a voice, I want to give them a voice. Now, the first thing I found with that was with homeless kids and runaway kids. And they didn't have anyone to talk for them. So I began to talk for them. Then I realised the kid in me. And so I started to look for help for myself. Then there was the homeless adults. I get so impressed by them because when you've got nothing, all you've got is your own integrity and self-esteem. And I find many of those people are full of that, you know. And then it became a bit more diverse because I heard about the Korean comfort women and I thought, that's wrong. Those women should have a voice. They've been shut up for too long. So they become a voice.
In 1991, I suppose, one of the courageous lady, the victim, came out and started to talk about her own experience at the Japanese military sexual camp. After that, the hundreds of victims came out.
There was during Tiananmen Square, the goddess of democracy. If ever there was a loud voice on Tiananmen Square, it was that goddess of democracy that the students made. So we got one here.
From the massacre in 1989, the Chinese lost soul. There's no soul in China.
So in our backyard, we got the goddess of democracy beside the Korean comfort women's statue. And then I thought about Aboriginal people, and they've never had a voice. The whites have always drowned those voices out. So we have events here which are giving voices to the voiceless, whether they be homeless kids, homeless people, Koreans, Chinese, Aboriginal people. If you're a voiceless people, come and see me because I'll give you a voice, you know. And what that does is then it feeds back on me. And I think, Bill, you can't shut up your own voice. And then I find in dealing with bureaucracies, I can't stand it because they want me to shut up and do what I'm told. And I think, I can't do that because then I'll be letting the homeless people down, I'll be letting the Koreans down, I'll be letting the Chinese down. I've got to stand up for myself. And so I do. And then people say, you can't behave like that, you're a minister. And I say, yes, I can.
We came to a land, many of us, where the original inhabitants of it weren't even recognised as human beings. And that's something that's a stain on our consciences, you know? And we can all, each and every one of us, do our little bit to make sure that things like that never happen again.
The only reason I let my real voice out is because I can't not, because I'm letting all these other people have their voices and I'm realising they're just as frail and as vulnerable as I am.
中华儿女们，他们应该永远铭记在我们心中。谢谢大家。
We're all here because we are all one. We all come from the same, we all bleed the same blood, we all suffer the same stress. We're all one people, we're all brothers and sisters. And what evil is done to one brother or one sister is done to all of us. Things like this that happen to these women must never, ever happen again. And we know it's happening today in the Middle East. We know it's happening in different countries where women are being bought and sold and used as sex slaves. And this has to stop. And the only way it stops is when the oppressors admit that they did wrong and apologise. And I suddenly begin to find that in some ways I feel quite proud of myself for doing that, because the voice that I'm fixing up and the homeless person that I'm working with to help is actually myself. And the more I get a voice, the more other people can use my voice to tell their story.
血腥屠杀，让我们捍卫澳洲的普世价值。